Bonjour à tous, hello everyone, this is Mac Plays on Mac and welcome back to Mount Mac. We are now entering episode 17 and this whole episode has been made using the brand new Mac Mini M4 Pro with 64 gigs of RAM. More on this later. Let's first talk about what's happening on the screen. So right now, I remember last episode I was trying to find a surface to put on top of this and I downloaded this mod. It's actually a very heavy mod and it took quite a bit of room, 500 megabytes just for the mod, and now I can apply a lot of surfaces quite very easily. It still takes some time, but it fits amazingly. I just wanted to use this grass texture surface on top of all of the road, make it more like of a earthy vibe, and also in France we quite have a lot of the track running on top of grass when they are not on the road. So right now this is what you see me doing, and I really love the way it looks once you're on it. Look at this, it's just incredible. This episode is going to be huge. We're going to do a lot of things. So now you can see that actually I have finally my population growing a bit, not too much, but I have the demand that's back. I changed my taxes by a lot. I now have my tax between 0% and 7% for the highest and for the richest. While that doesn't look like the demand is growing, actually you can see that a lot of places that I had to be grown are now growing. So here I wanted to do better use of this area now that we in the last episode revamped our area. I wanted to make a bigger school that takes less room with more capacity, and in the meantime I'm gonna densify a bit the blocks right next to it, and in the future maybe we'll densify a bit more of this our area. So let's go here, and unfortunately because of the road tool, the roads changed and now they are not really the same size, and the cells, they don't fit as they used to. So now I actually have to plop all of this area because the growing I will lose about a cell on each direction, and it will make some empty spaces, which I'm not okay with, especially on a dense place. In this case, I'm mixing the uses. You're gonna have some mixed density, some single row housing, some medium density. It's just I want to make a big mix of everything here. Now this giant parking lot here in the same is a big waste of space, so I want something that can have more parking because we deleted a lot of it, but on top of it I want also denser density. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap around all of this parking lot a bunch of these 2-unit buildings that's quite tall and can actually have a lot of people living in it, and I do like the style of this, so that's my idea over here. Let's make sure everything fits good. I was just checking to see if I raise the parking lot, would it be odd? I honestly not sure about it, but I decided against it. But here it is. Now we're gonna go to a different location. And now that the houses grew next to the highway, I feel like some of them are way too close, and therefore we're actually gonna go with only 2-unit depth. So this episode is going to see a lot of changes. We're going to go on a spending spree. I want to ameliorate and improve everything in the area. So we also going to put things where they actually kind of make sense. Like for the university, we're going to have this beautiful research center over there, and we're going to make sure that there's an access that goes straight to the university. So I'm going to flatten some area. I'm going to make sure the slope are decent. We're also going to have to buy a couple tiles, and we're just going to make everything go smoothly all the way down. On top of it also we're gonna change that antenna that's right next to the top layer, and we're gonna bring it a bit higher as well because it doesn't make sense anymore since we have higher ground, and this should be on one of the highest ground available. So using the slope tool, we are gonna gently go all the way down the mountain. I'm trying to find a path that makes sense, that have nice curve and gentle slope, and we're gonna use the alleyway because this is gonna be a small road, doesn't need a lot of big access capacity. So, and we're gonna reach all the way down. Now one thing that I need to change is I want some guardrail because it's very steep on the side, and the best way to find guardrail just added to the road was to have the key wall added to the side of the road that is the one by the drop. As you can see right there, I think it does look amazing. I'm just gonna add a couple here, and there is some area where I'm gonna have a key wall on both sides of the street. So while I'm doing all of this, I move now this internet connection tower just over here, and I see that I'm lacking of I have an issue with my sewage. I don't have enough capacity for it. I think first off I'm gonna add some water. A water tower here kind of makes sense. It's on a higher ground, it's better for the water pressure, but in the meantime I need to improve my sewage system. So I'm gonna bring that next to our industrial area, next to the old town. I'm making some room right now, and I actually don't want it to face the main road, so I'm just getting a bit of room here, and we're gonna switch it to the other side. And now we actually have so much capacity that I don't like wasting it, so I'm actually gonna create a connection all the way to the edge of the map, because we have extra water and extra sewage. Now what I found out is actually we can trade our water and make some money on this, but the sewage we cannot sell or buy the sewage poop from the overcity, I guess, and that's too bad, so I'm just wasting capacity here. So now I'm about to make a huge amount of investment, and it's gonna cost a lot of money, so I want to make sure that my actual budget can take it. So I want to build kind of a warfare area. So I'm looking at all of the different assets that I could put. So let's just have everything around here. Let's see what are the cost and what are the nice buildings that goes together. So this is pretty much at everything that I can fit and that I need to be there. I want big park, I want a statement tower, a very nice building, could be like a museum, some attraction, and let's just see what we can do with all of this. Also, I want to make sure that this area is a pedestrian area, so I want to make sure that the public transportation are well in place. So we're gonna have a tram going around this road over there from the train station all the way to the other train station, or close enough. Now all of this is a bit too far, we're gonna bring it closer to the road, and I want to make sure that this building is set in the center of it, just like this. And here we're gonna have a connection on both of the roundabout, one on the east side and one on the west side, just like this. Now we're gonna add parks around here because I feel like this space is beautiful, and the park are gonna be the same theme as the one we used in the previous one, the modern parks. Now let's try to get the position of the building where we need them to be. So I'm gonna extend this road and go all the way to the other side of the park like this, make a beautiful connection. And also we're gonna make sure to actually have the tram track going all the way to the tram track we built in the previous episode. Now we're gonna also connect here all around this building, and we are gonna have that pedestrian road going all the way to the other road just after we move that connection from the parking lot to the regular road, just like this. We also gonna have to change the net lanes and make sure that is a smooth connection and that the cars don't drive where they're not allowed to and where it's only pedestrian. Nice. Now this road that I built earlier, the 2-unit pedestrian road, was too big. We're gonna go with the regular 1-unit one, just like this. It's actually a custom one that I had to create myself a while ago, and I built that building, but it's actually way too big, and now I just left a mark here. So the best way I found to get rid of the mark was just to smooth the area and the thing goes away. Now here I didn't like the surface, so I decided to change the surface, but when you move the building, the surface actually is not attached to the building anymore, so I need to delete the surface, move the building. Now we're gonna get rid of the parking, which I don't want because there is no street connection, and here we can change the surface. Now what I'm gonna reuse this for, so first I'm gonna show that pedestrian can go all around it by creating some net lane for pedestrian access. I'm gonna have 2 parks here, which are of course going to disappear because they're on top of another building, so I'm gonna create my own park. So I'm gonna have a fountain, couple gazebos, a bunch of benches, and just like this we have a beautiful building. Now like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna connect the pedestrian road to that road right there, and I think that now it's time to finish our tram tracks. So let's get all of the stops, and let's see what itinerary we can get. So I don't like the way that every time I create a stop, the train track goes on both sides of the road, but I guess it's for the tram to be able to actually change lane if it needs to, so that's a good thing. And I got the tram done. Now I need to make sure I have enough tram on my tram depot. And here I don't really like the way that the tram was going all the way to the center of the city, so I'm trying to create a stop where actually can turn around without having to go all the way down that lane. There is no other accesses, so right now I'm trying to see if I can make it work for here like a loop, but the turns are so sharp that this is not gonna happen. So the best way I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna increase the size of that road where it's already going by right now. We're gonna make it a 4-lane road, and with only trams on the side, and just like this I'm able to plop a stop, and after that the tram will be able to just go around in the opposite direction. So let's get this connected just like this, and now I can just put my stop, and here it is. The usage of the public transportation is very odd. Sometimes it's very high, sometimes it's very low. This one is going to be very low for quite a while. I know it's a new road, there's not much going on here, so I'm asking myself, how do I make sure that this gets utilized as much as possible? What is happening in this area? Is this actually, you see it's very low, so I want to see, like, do we have enough tourists, like how attractive it is, because that should be a giant source of trips. Like, this is a very attractive area. Unfortunately it's not, it has only 20, so I'm gonna look at what is wrong. So I'm looking at my services for the budget, my budget for services, sorry, and actually I was at 50%, and so yes, I was still bleeding money. As you can see, my money dropped from 45 million to 19, and now I'm even on a weekly basis losing money, so I need to find a way to get more money. But because I had to add up on the budget to make sure it was more attractive, I mean, this is just crazy. I'm getting bankrupt right now. But in the meantime, I'm actually gonna move this campus over here right next to the area, because I think it's to the location much better, and I have different plan for over next to on the other side of the street. So here we're gonna make sure that that grass covers everywhere, that the parking also has a building access, and like this. Now can I add more parking? No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just extend all of the different surfaces. We're gonna add some parks. Pocket parks are amazing. This is just an incredible addition from Paradox. I just love it. And we're gonna make sure that there is a different kind of sitting area as well, and everything can be used if they need to, just like this. That was perfect. Now on this one, I'm thinking, how do we add more traffic to this area? And by traffic I mean people, of course. So we're gonna now extend all of the walkway from the museum to the road, so people can just walk around here. All of the surfaces are extended. We're gonna add trees and stuff like this, but also I want to add some life to this area, and for this I'm actually gonna add some buildings. So first off, we're gonna go with some commercial, because this is where I have the demand for. Now this is just growing, it's fine, but that's not gonna be staying here for a while. It's just I'm trying to get more demand for my actual residential, and here I'm gonna plop some of my urban promenade building. I said they are so amazing, and they will suit this area so well. Apart from this building, I mean, I love it, but I think I want 2 buildings, and that suits just better. Okay, so now we are gonna go on the other side like this. I want to make sure that the color also they make sense. So the theme is kind of a white yellowish, you know, so I want all of the building to be kind of that color, and we're gonna recolor most of them. And now I'm looking at all of this. I mean, of course they are ugly as hell, but this is just right now to see, can I drag some people here, can I get some usage onto my transport line. I want to make sure that all of this works, and as you can see, I'm not at 100, so this is amazing. My city is very attractive. I didn't have all of the park activated yet. I'm missing still the big wheel, because if I have this one on, I'm gonna bleed so much money that nothing is gonna work anymore. Now I'm trying to add some hotels, because this is what I want, and I found that this could be hotels I'm gonna plot, but none of them are hotels. So I decided to do my own hotels, and just like this I'm gonna put these two together I mean, it's not very nice looking. I wish we're gonna have more interesting hotels or more of a statement of a hotel, because this one are very generic and they are perfect for the cities. But here, because this is such an interesting area that I'm trying to build, I wanted something more defined. But right now we're gonna change all of the colors and make sure they suit our theme. And I think here a tower will be very nice as well. And now it's time to extend what we did on this side of the pathway to the other side. This building to unit is very well because it helped me to follow the gentle curve. Although I didn't do the best job here, I still think it's gonna work. We need to make sure that the building are the colors that we need them to be. And I want also here some trees next to the road, just so it's not just the noise going there. But I didn't want a wall because I wanted something that still feel a bit natural. So that's why I went for a tree. And here we're gonna have a couple parks just like this, and a parking for that hotel. Also, of course, there is no hotel here, there is no demand for it yet. I hope that's gonna grow later. Now I'm trying to make a connection with the path straight to this area, because this actually came from the train station, and if people can just take a walk, a stroll over there, that would be even better. We need to make sure that all of the area between the mountain and the road is very lush, very green. I want to make it like feel very pleasure, like it's a park, you know. The whole thing is a giant park. That's my idea. Let's add some tree, let's just decorate everything. A lot of time spending to just decorate everything to get it even more attractive, but now I want to have a stadium for our big university. I went from the modern kind of, it's not an asset by itself, actually it's part of an upgrade for university, but I just wanted to make it my own. It's not the best asset to me, but it fits there. It's kind of what I wanted. I don't know, maybe I'll build a different one later, but right now I'm trying to see how can I make it bigger and better. So I want bigger stand. Like, this is a big university, they have a lot of fans, it's a very nice team, you know, they're playing soccer, football, you know, that's very cool. So I want the grandstand to be covered. Now they also have some tennis field, and I want to make sure that people can watch them. So we're gonna put a couple stands over here. On the other side, they actually don't fit on both sides, so I'm just gonna have one like here. Perfect. And now, can I fit corners? I mean, ideally I wanted to make it a whole stadium with corners, but this is not gonna go anywhere. Can I just change the surface myself? I'm trying to prop a surface. No, it is not happening. All right, too bad. Now let's extend all of the surfaces just to make sure that it's gonna go very well with what I'm building. I want to make a parking lot here, so first we're gonna get the access to the road, and I'm gonna level everything very flat, and we're gonna have retaining wall, not retaining wall, quay wall all around, with a parking lot right there, actually a parking structure right here, garage, and we're gonna have another one on the other side. But I didn't realize how tall, how high it was until I actually looked down. So now I'm just using Movie to just lower the street a bit, and maybe I actually should do that a bit more, but I haven't done it. Maybe I'll do it before the next episode. Now let's make sure there is connections for roads everywhere, and here we're gonna add an extra parking lot. Just try to use as much of this small space as we can, and I'm gonna put all of the surface as asphalt / concrete, whichever it is, and we're gonna add our own parking spaces where there is room for it. So I want some service spaces and some handicap spots. Now this is a parking lot. I want to add a bit of usage, make it like it's been used and weathered, you know, and we're gonna fix also all of the different surfaces. I want people to be able to walk all around, so we're gonna fix all of the walkways, the paths, and also add a lot of trees just everywhere. It fills the place, it makes it look so much better, and a lovely place. I mean, this is a very important place in our city. There's a giant university and a big warfare, so I very want to showcase a place that has been manicured and cared for, and that's why here we're gonna connect two gardens next to this botanic garden, just like this. It's gonna be beautiful, and we're gonna add trees and again make connection between all the buildings, so actually pedestrians can use all of this. But yeah, that's about the end of it. It's been a great episode, a very big episode, probably my longest one, but honestly the M4 Mac Mini was incredible, but it's just not there. It doesn't give me everything that I wanted. Not everything is faster, and it doesn't make sense for me to keep it, so I will be returning it, and you'll see I'll get something else. Still a Mac though, still a Mac. Now let's enjoy this view and see what we did in this episode. Merci à tous. Thank you so much everyone for following me in this journey of finding the right Mac to play City Skyline 2. I don't know if I'm gonna have the new one for next week, but very soon. See you. Bye bye.